Tremendous to have your company on Fox Sports around Australia, and for those of you watching in New Zealand as well, welcome to our coverage. We come to you from Allianz Stadium. There's the scenes. It is magnificent, glorious weather, and it is New South Wales Rugby League Grand Final day today. And of course, our opening match features the Massey Cup decider between the Entrance Tigers, who finished fourth in regular season competition, and Mounties, who finished in position number 2. And as I welcome Braith and Nasta to our coverage, Mounties very much buoyed by the fact there's a number of New South Wales Cup players that have come back to bolster their ranks today.
They have. Woody Baker and their halves have both played New South Wales Cup, even Gus Agar, the winger, as well. So they've got that experience, but both teams are in form. If you look at the competition coming in, that they've beat the minor premiers Wentworthville. Both teams have beat them, both the Entrance and of course the Mounties. So if you're looking at two teams that are in form at the moment, they deserve to be here on Grand Final day, and I'm looking forward to it, Tabby.
Yeah, indeed. In fact, both sides have 1-4 on the trot. Let's have a look at Mounties firstly and how they've progressed through September, if you like. A very strong rugby league club in week 1, too good for Asquith by 22 points to 10. And as Braith alluded to, defeating the minor premiers Wentworthville in commanding fashion, 34 points to 0 last weekend. There's no doubt they will take a power of stopping Mounties. They've had a stellar season in so many grades, and it really does show the depth and the financial commitment of this great club.
It does, and I suppose they've got a pathways too to the New South Wales Cup. If you look at the Entrance, they don't. So they aspire to that. They've got experienced players in their team from New South Wales Cup. But if you look at the Entrance, they've also got Ryan O'Hara, New South Wales players. So they do that, have that experience as well. But should be a good game, mate. All
right, let's check out the Mounties team card now. There'll be some familiar names to you that, for those of you that watch the New South Wales Cup on a regular basis, Gus Agar is one of those players. So too is Dargan, Matty Place and Joey Bond in the halves. Weedy Baker up front, playing in jersey number 8. And a very well-balanced football side. They are coached by Chris Hutchison. And earlier today, I spoke to their skipper, Adam Tangata. Well, heading into today's decider, you're in good form, having won 4 on the trot.
Yeah, the boys been going good. Like you said, 1-4 in a row, and I think it's just helped build us towards this grand final. So, pretty good.
You've also got a number of players running around today in Massey Cup that have played a fair bit of state cup this year, so that augurs well.
Yeah, we've got Wayne Dargan back from, actually a few boys back from New South Wales Cup, and they've been in good form, tremendous form, and it's good to have them back at Massey, especially for this grand final. Yeah, it's good.
Good luck to you today. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, Adam Tangata, he's got a big job to do up front today, and you did allude to Ryan O'Hara, who's starting obviously in the front row for the Entrance. The clash between he and Tangata will be an absolute beauty.
Yeah, it should be a big one, and obviously O'Hara, we know the experience he's had. I've played with him at the Bulldogs, went to Canberra, Origin player. So, most games these days, whoever wins the battle of the forwards will win the game. So, it should be a good one, mate.
All right, the road to the finals in terms of the Entrance Tigers. Again, they do a wonderful job for rugby league on the central coast of New South Wales, defeating the minor premiers in the first week of finals football. Look at that scoreline, 46-20, and then an equally big win over the Asquith Magpies, 40-12, to play their way into today's decider. This club has in fact won the Massey Cup Grand Final previously in 2007, and they've been one of the mainstays of the competition. But ironically, as we count down to kick off in this match, the club has already declared they won't be participating in this competition next year, which is a real shame.
Yeah, that makes today all the more important, Tappy, and they've been the bridesmaid a bit. They've been consistent over the years, but the Entrance, so they want to go out in a high, and I suppose they want to win today because it could be their last game ever.
Indeed. Let's have a look at the 17 representing the Entrance Tigers today. At fullback is Nelson. Malia Malau, a very good player in the centres, a powerful runner of the football. And keep your eyes out also for the number 6, McInnes. Loves to take the line on, a big, tall, rangy 5'8". And Fitzpatrick's got some silky skills. We've already alluded to O'Hara. And Scotty Jones at number 9, a great little competitor that's been at a number of clubs. The coach is Jamie Forbes. It's his 10th grand final today, in fact. And earlier I spoke to Ryan O'Hara. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us. After a stint in France and you pulled the curtain down on your top grade career, you come back home to where it all started for you.
Yeah, the Entrance Tigers, my junior club, and honoured to be a part of such a great club. My brothers were involved, my family involved, so it's good to come back and finish off with them, hopefully with a premiership.
You've also won 4 in a row, as the opposition has today. Is the Entrance the underdogs?
Yeah, we are still. I think Mounties got a few blokes back from New South Wales Cup, which we don't have the ability to bring that, but we've got that mentality that it's a bit of us versus them with the Sydney club. So I'd get the boys behind us, and we have a lot of pride in our jersey, and the boys play with a lot of heart. So I'm sure we can overcome them.
Good luck today. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, Ryan O'Hara, 34 years of age now. He's had quite a distinguished career, former Origin rep, as Braith has alluded to, and he's got a real job to do today for the Entrance Tigers. It is a massive day of rugby league on Fox Sports. The Ron Massey Cup live and exclusive on Australia's Sports Leader, followed by the New South Wales Cup Grand Final at 3 p.m. And talking of big rugby league productions, it doesn't get bigger than the Dally M's coming your way tomorrow night. Good to have you with us on Fox Sports. Welcome back to Allianz Stadium and the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. That's the hardware they're doing battle for. Mounties and the Entrance Tigers. It's a huge day. The Sydney Shield Grand Final played earlier. It was taken out by the East Campbelltown Eagles, defeating Mounties by 27-20 in what was a thoroughly enjoyable game. And you'll see a delayed package of that, in fact, on Fox Sports later in the week. And we now count down with no little expectation for the players to arrive on the Park Braith, and it'll be game on.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of a crowd here today, Tappy, for the game, the Ron Massey Cup. And we've seen Ryan O'Hara earlier talk about the us versus them mentality. The Entrance come down to Sydney against the big shots and trying to knock off the Mounties. So it should be a good battle. Both teams are in form, and as we can see, the crowd certainly think it's going to be a good battle as well.
For those of you that are not necessarily aware of the Ron Massey Cup, it's the competition that was known for many years as the Jim Beam Cup, and prior to that, the Metropolitan Cup. It serves a real purpose, open age footy. And you just saw Jamie Forbes walk past camera, the Entrance Tigers coach. He took over from Matt Parrish as head coach at the Entrance back in 2006. He had been associated with the club for a few years prior to that. I did mention it's his 10th grand final as a coach today. Good job.
Yeah, really good job. We've seen the captain of the Entrance, the Mounties, drop the ball already in the tunnel there, so that wasn't a good start for him, but should be a good game. I mean, good record from the coach. Matt Parrish, not a bad coach himself too, so it shows there's a pathways there to maybe first grade. His name's been tossed up for the West Tigers job, but as we can see here, you know, the Ron Parrish, the cup, and all the boys getting a team photo before we start.
Indeed, Mounties, joint venture partner of the Canberra Raiders in the New South Wales Cup. So there's a genuine pathway to the NRL for Mounties juniors. And in our pre-game segment, I mentioned a few of the players that are in this squad today for Mounties that have significant New South Wales Cup experience. And on that basis alone, they're going to be very tough to beat today. They finished second in regular season and have been one of the teams of 2014.
Well, it's a huge advantage to be able to play New South Wales Cup and to have players play at that level and come back to this, the Ron Massey Cup. Unfortunately, the Entrance don't have that to aspire to, which is difficult for them. But that's why it's such a credit for them to be here today and to be in the grand final. And, you know, it's a credit to them and their ability to be here on the big stage. And they've still got a lot of work to do, and hopefully, well, for them, they can get it done today.
They met in round 8 on that occasion, the Entrance winning 12-11 in a close one. Then the rematch in round 19 of regular season. Mounties too good, 24 points to 12. So statistically, reasonably evenly matched heading into this game.
Well, it should be a close game. If you look at it, both home teams won on those occasions too. They've both been tight matches. It's one apiece in the regular season. So if you look at the grand final, you look at the setup, the form of both teams, they've both won 4 games on the trot. So if there's going to be the best 2 teams you want in the grand final, and we've got that today, so looking forward to a great match.
So in the first half, Mounties to defend the southern end of Allianz Stadium. No breeze to speak of. And the referee is Adam Cassidy for this one. Welcome to our exclusive coverage on Fox Sports. The Ron Massey Cup Grand Final is underway, and big contact on Weedy Baker. Classic shot by Luke McInnes. The Entrance Tigers front rower. It rocked the foundations, Allianz. What a start. So no shortage of physicality early. Exactly what we would expect. Joey Bond lets the ball go to his left. And this is Kurt Horton, former New South Wales Cup player with the Panthers. Also was in the Melbourne Storm system for some time. Here's Joey Bond. Can play fullback as well as halfback, former Redcliffe player in the Queensland Cup. They come across now to the open side, and this is the skipper, Adam Tangata. He's met by 3 players, Luke McInnes, in there doing a good job, as was Scott Jones, and the first kick of the match from the boot of Matt Place. And I think that Mounties, certainly their coach, wouldn't be unhappy with that opening set break.
Good start, little halfback Bond. Good pass from him to the left-hand side. Nice little break to him, making early metres, and a good kick off the back of that from Place. So as you mentioned, a really good start from the Mounties.
Here's the fullback for the Tigers, Grant Nelson, local entrance junior. His first touch comes out on the right side. O'Hara, he was chopped down in a terrific tackle by Gus Ager. And now working back across field, Alan Munro. Reasonably speedy play. The ball's now Luke McInnes, hard and straight up the centre, claimed by Adam Tangata and Brett Lay, the Mounties hooker forward. Jake Fitzpatrick, big kick downfield, nasty bounce for Theo Liato. The Mounties fullback played his junior footy with the Liverpool Titans, and he is tackled by David O'Neill and also by Brad Chatfield.
Yeah, good kick and good set as well from the entrance. Fitzpatrick finding space. It's hard to do against a fullback like Liato. I think he's scored the most tries for the Mounties this year with a number, I think it's 16 tries, sorry. So to find space early from Fitzpatrick was a good effort from the half.
Brett Lay, probing run up the centre. Gained some good metres. Scott Jones, his opposite number, affecting the tackle. Jones has played at a host of clubs. Cabramatta, Shell Harbour, Newtown. And now in the twilight of his career, the entrance Tigers kick down towards the northeastern side of the ground. Ball stands up for Grant Nelson, and a reasonable return to the footy. Tackler was Brady Chessier. No score after 2 3/4 minutes of the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. The man that just played the ball, Malia Malau, he's one of the real go-to men on that left edge for the entrance Tigers. I'm sure he'll see plenty of Steeden this afternoon. Here's Luke McInnes. That's a good run, isn't it? Across the top of Brett Lay. Eventually put down by Jacob Mayer. Now away to Fitzpatrick. He gives it on to the back rower, Munro. Munro is claimed by Kurt Horton. Also getting across in defence was Wheaty Baker. Baker considered a very good prospect. Now here's Theo Liato. He was beautifully positioned for that kick. It went straight to him.
It was. Great start from McInnes, the front rower from the entrance, making some easy metres, running the ball hard and getting his side on the front foot. But on that occasion, the kick from Fitzpatrick found Liato at the back, and it wasn't the best. And it's got the Mounties on the front foot early.
This is Louis Vaiutu in 21, coming into the game late this morning. Let's head down as we watch Tangata affecting a charge and say good afternoon on the touchline. Nathan Feehan.
Yeah, hey boys, perfect conditions down here for this Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. It's been quite a good start for both sets of forwards. They're just trying to get that dominance, and both the hookers are doing some really good work around the ruck as we see a kick here for the Mountie side. It goes high.
Yep, Joey Bond. Look forward to working with you, Nathan. Thanks for that. The entrants have come up with it. It was a real speculator. Had some hang time on it.
It was a nice kick from Bond, but an even better take from O'Neill from the entrance. So he diffused it quite easily, and could have been a probably better placement from Bond. Needs to put it a little bit deep and a bit more pressure on the opposition.
Good run then by Troy Adams, playing in 21 for the entrance Tigers. Now Harley Ridge goes for a charge. He was a nominee for the Ron Massey Cup Player of the Year. And this is Malia Malau. Played previously with the Wyong Club in the New South Wales Cup. Of course, Wyong linking up with the Roosters in 2015 as a joint venture. It's Scotty Jones at acting half after a good run by O'Hara. And the kick downfield not presenting any problems for Mounties. It was kicked by Adam McInnes. And some nice footwork there by Liato. Eventually put down by Troy Adams. Now Wayne Dargan, another that has played plenty of New South Wales Cup footy. So a real arm wrestle here after just 5 minutes of play. And coming out to Joey Bond on the left wing. Jinking run, dummied to pass right. Player was taken out without the football. And referee Adam Cassidy left with no choice, Braith.
That's right. You mentioned Bond, the halfback from the Mounties, was actually on the wing. So I'm not sure if there's been a positional change or what, but it was there he is, there his hands on his knees. He's been dangerous to start the match, and they've earned their side a penalty, and it was probably the first time in the match that they've been in good field position from either end and either team. So let's see what they can do early on.
You can see on the replay, Scotty Jones, the Tigers 9, taking a player out illegally. So great opportunity now for Mounties. They are 29 metres out from the entrance Tigers line as it comes to Wheaty Baker. He played with the Canberra Raiders in its under-20 system. Tackled by Luke McInnes, now plays it back to Lay. Tangata surging forward. Good defence by the Tigers, 3 defenders there, including Troy Adams. So a real test for the Tigers now. Under siege from Mounties, it comes to Joey Bond and puts it through on the toe. Can he get it back? Here's a chance for Mounties.
Yes.
Kurt Horton has fallen on the ball. That's a try. Adam Cassidy points to the spot, and Mounties first to score in the 2014 Grand Final.
And it's off the back of that man, the half Bond. They've made a switch play back to the halfback. You see he receives the ball. He's got plenty of time and space. Early in the tackle count, takes the opportunity to kick the ball. Kicks it twice on again for the number 12, Horton, for the Mounties. And it's, as I mentioned, he's had plenty of touches early, has the halfback Bond. He's been confident. He's made a difference already. And this is how. Nice little grubber kick. Taps it on again for his back rower to be there. Man on the spot is Horton. And a nicely executed try. He took a gamble, Bond. It was only early in the tackle count. He still had a couple up his sleeve, but he's seen the space.
The try scorer, Horton rather, his first season at Mounties. Played some footy with the Panthers. 7.5 minutes gone. And the try scorer will attempt to convert his own 4-pointer. The football has been dominated by Mounties thus far with 61% possession. Their completions are perfect, 5 from 5. The entrance also completing well, 3 from 3.
It's been a high quality start for both teams. You mentioned the completion rate for the Mounties has been perfect. And we said with that penalty that they were given, it's going to be the first time that they've been in good field position. Let's see what they can do. Well, they've come up with a try straight away. I know from experience, if you get that first shot, you take advantage of that and get a 4-pointer. There's a lot of belief and confidence that now goes throughout the team, but also to that halfback Bond. He's a key playmaker for the Mounties, and he's made a difference early on, so he'll be feeling really good at the moment.
So that's the angle that Horton is working with, about 18 metres out, and has got it away nicely. Flags in the air. So Mounties 6-0 leaders in the 2014 Ron Massey Cup Grand Final in glorious spring conditions at Allianz Stadium. I guess the most damning stat of the match so far pertains to missed tackles. The entrance, 7 missed tackles versus Mounties 2. And that's something I want to rein in very quickly. Mounties have got the points in them. That man Joey Bond, if he's got enough space and time, will prove lethal today. This is Wheaty Baker, who play it back to Brett Lay. And now Louis Vaiutu coming in for a run off the wing. Mounties doing the hard yards in their own territory. Tangata, the skipper, plays it. Lay to Joey Bond. Ball gets some air, and here's the try scorer, Kurt Horton, playing with no shortage of confidence, as tends to happen when you get a try. The lock forward is Jacob Mayer, formerly of the North Coast, and also played some Queensland Cup football. Lay, and here comes the clearing kick from the boot of Matt Place. We saw a lot of Matt Place in the New South Wales Cup in 2014. And now the Tigers returning the ball through Grant Nelson. It was a fair effort too.
Yeah, Nelson's been impressive so far. He's brought the ball back well. Looks like he's been really quick and elusive there at the back, but good defensive set from the entrance. They put pressure on the Mounties and in turn the 5'8" place, and he found him on the full, and now look, they're in good field position at the moment.
So the entrance Tigers 5 into Mounties side of halfway. Here's O'Hara, the 34-year-old veteran, hitting it up. That will be a major requirement today. McInnes got the ball away. Nelson, then through the other McInnes, and Malau puts boot the ball, and he's got it back again too. And it gives you an idea of how dangerous he can be. Needs as much football as possible if they are to beat Mounties today.
Good feed.
Now it's Alan Munro for the line, and he finds a yawning gap and pins the ears back. Try time for the back rower. And the Entrance Tigers, they haven't visited the Mounties 20 on too many occasions. They did that time, and Mounties offered nothing, Braith.
That's from a loose ball too, as you can see. Munro picks it up. Good footwork to get through, but there was nothing doing. Malaya made the little kick and chase down the other side. He's a classy player, regained the football back in his hands, and it's often that the loose ball, when it hits the ground, is the most dangerous because the defenders can't react to it. And you'll see here Munro, open space, over chase from the defensive line. Good little bit of footwork, but really had a clear passage to the line, and they've hit back straight away. And the scores could be levelled here within 2 or 3 minutes of the last try.
Yeah, Munro, he's been around the game a long time. He's 26 or 27. He was a former player of the year in this competition. And he also played lower grades with the Sharks and the Melbourne Storm. Or certainly had affiliations with those clubs anyway.
So he's got plenty of experience. There's no doubt about that, and he can play. But you often see when the ball hits the ground as it did then, the defence can't read it because they're not ready for it. They think that the football's going to go to Fitzpatrick, the halfback. When it bounces, they don't know where it's going to go. And Munro really benefited from that and gets an easy 4-pointer. And after this kick, we'll see if he can lock the scores up.
It's David O'Neill. And straight between the posts, O'Neill and North Ryde Jr. So we're tied up at 6-all. Let's head back down to the touchline. Nathan Feehan.
Yeah, boys, it was the defensive set of the Tigers that give them that field position. Braith mentioned it in the call. After points, you want your side to really come back, and they certainly did that through their actions on the defensive side of things. And we mentioned Malaya Malau. How good was that little piece of work down that left-hand edge? He's also scored 19 tries this year. Keep an eye out for him during this one.
Thank you, Nathan. So just short of the 13th minute mark in this grand final. Of course, the Newcastle Knights and the Penrith Panthers. At 3 o'clock, their date with destiny in the New South Wales Cup Grand Final. A lot of people give the Knights a massive hope in that game, despite Penrith being the dominant force in the New South Wales Cup this season. Jones down the short side, and the ball onto Brad Chatfield. He certainly hit the ball at speed. It was well read defensively by Horton. And now the try scorer Munro chances his arm down the short side. Weedy Baker wraps him up. Open side, and Fitzpatrick wants to get down the other end. A kick beautifully positioned between winger and fullback. Liardo across and picks it up 9 out from his line.
Beautiful set. Great set from the entrance. Fiend just set on the sideline, backing up your try. Defensively is important, but also with the ball in hand. You don't want to make an error. You want to make good field position and get a good kick away. And that's certainly what Fitzpatrick did for the entrance.
This is Dave Collane, second year with Mounties. Played his football previously with the Penrith brothers. Now Joey Bond. And
they're really working the right-hand side of the entrance defensive line. Bond, as they earn the penalty here for holding in the ruck. But Bond, the halfback from the Mounties, has been throwing that long ball to the left-hand side of the Mounties, right-hand side defence of the entrance. They must either see a weakness there, or they think they can make easy meters there which can march them down the field. And off the back of this, they've got the penalty, and they'll be in good field position again.
Here's a replay. The man with the ball was Weedy Baker. Just holding on a little long, over exuberance in the ruck. And once again, we see Mounties working themselves into some decent field position. Now into the Tigers 40. A good run by Weedy Baker. Down low was Ryan O'Hara. And across the top, Harley Ridge. They swing it to the open. Joey Bond. You'd think that the Entrance Tigers, particularly the markers, would be working as hard as possible to cut down his time. He can cause some headaches, and he will. Migraine-like proportions if he's allowed. Lay. Place. Short ball onto the chest there of Brady Chessier. And he's tackled on the Entrance Tigers 10-metre line. They continue their attack down that edge. Lovely take on the half volley by Grant Nelson. What a pickup.
His positional play has been superb early on in the match. You've spoken about that. He's bringing the football back. But to be in the right position, and it was a nice little kick from place, but the hands from him, not only the hands, the acceleration to get his side back on the front foot. Great effort from the fullback.
This is Brad Chatfield, who may be one of the players that they've singled out in defence with the comment of Braitz previously, the amount of traffic they're sending down that entrance right-hand edge, defensively speaking. And a kick downfield from McInnes. We haven't seen the Tigers 5/8 take the line on yet. That player on screen, he certainly loves to do it and can be a handful.
Well, I don't think they've been in position yet, Tappy. I mean, they've had one chance down that end off the back of pretty much an 80-metre set, and they scored off the back of Munro on a loose ball. When he gets his time and his opportunity, I'm sure he'll take that. As we see some supporters there of the Mounties cheering on their team. But I thought that was a good kick from McInnes. He found the line. He slowed the game down a little bit. It was early in the tackle count. Not far away from a 40-20, but I think it was good experience play from the number 6.
Fairly warm here. Temperature, you'd suspect, mid-20s. Some of those close-up shots of the forwards doing it tough as the scrum was about to pack. Certainly reflected the conditions, but you couldn't ask for a nicer day. Brett Lay wrapped up. Rushing defence by Alan Malau. Joey Bond at first receiver, and they continue the same path.
They do it nearly every set, Tappy. They really are working this left-hand side over.
Wayne Dargan to his feet. Bond gives the ball to Adam Tangata. He signed with Halifax in 2015. Tangata, so heading to the old dart. Jacob Mayer, meantime, takes a hit up. So Mounties dominating possession, aren't they? Matt Place, a high kick, so more pressure for the entrance Tigers. The chase is plentiful from the Mounties. Comes away to McInnes. Obviously the entrance didn't touch it there because he came from a theoretical offside position.
Second effort.
LeBrock there with the ball.
Yeah, second effort from Bond to draw the penalty, but it was a good chase from him. The halves combined. Place put the kick up. It was a beautiful kick. But it was actually Bond, the half, who come through, and you'll see he tries to make the catch. He knocks it on, I'm pretty sure, off the back of this. There it is there. So it didn't come off a Tigers player at all. But Bond's everywhere, the halfback. Jeez, he's been good.
Mounties 8 from 9, their completions. The entrance better than that, 7 from 7. Very high quality. Start to the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. There's a possession. Mounties still favouring that stat. It comes out to Munro. And Munro crosses the halfway line, attempts to stand in the tackle, eventually put down by Brett Lay across the top. Fitzpatrick and then Chatfield.
They read that play.
Yeah.
They were onto him then. They read that play.
Yeah, Lay and Horton it was, combining. Fitzpatrick gives the ball on to Troy Adams. Troy's had a serious...
there.
Yep, we'll come back to that. Here's Malia Malau exploding into space. Great tackle, Dave Collane. Getting across, desperate stuff there, about 18 metres out from the Mounties line. It now comes to McInnes.
Good play.
And some razzle-dazzle with Malia Malau. Ball away to Perry LeBrock. And LeBrock has got one in the corner. And Cassidy points to the spot. They simply wouldn't go to ground with the ball.
Well, they wouldn't. He spoke about McInnes running the football. Well, here it is. They pass the ball at dummy after the wrong play. McInnes steps off his right. Malai gets the football. He looks for all money. They got numbers, runs it. But what about the pass? LeBrock in the corner. I thought Malai had ruined it. He took the line on with Brock. Had no one in front of him. As you can see there, around the corner pass, saves the day. LeBrock scores in the corner. He made up for it there. I thought he'd made the wrong decision, Malai. He could have passed it here. He passed it there to try, but he makes up for it. Brilliant pass. And a good finish.
He needed to make up for it, though.
Oh, didn't he?
He stepped straight back into 4 guys.
He's done it a couple of times, and you know why he's done it? Because he's confident. He's a confident player. He scored 19 tries this year, the most for the Tigers, but LeBrock finishes it nicely. He would have been happy that ball comes to him finally in the end, because he would have been, you see him shaking his head now. I think he's thinking, geez, lucky he passed me that football.
Oh, yeah. LeBrock, an entrance Tigers junior. Spent all of his time playing rugby league at Edsac Oval at Batto Bay, where this club is based. And the underdog, if I can use that expression, they hit the front. Will it be 12-6? Are we going to back him in from the touchline, David O'Neill?
Well, they've only had 2 opportunities, Tappy. They've had 2 opportunities in good field position on the Mounties try line, and they've converted that, so they've got plenty of confidence here. I think both teams are good with the football in hand. There's no doubt about that. It could really come down to defensively who the best team is on the day.
So O'Neill from wide out. A tough assignment. Looks pretty decent in flight. Just away to the left.
Not far
Gee,
away.
it wasn't far away at all. 10 points to 6. Just short of the 21st minute mark. And, well, Mounties were first to score, and the entrants have gone bang, bang.
Yes, it's been a great hit back from the entrance. LeBrock there, that man on screen, scoring the last 4-pointer. Couldn't convert that, but we know how good the Mounties are with the ball in hand. They average over 31 points a game for the season, so they'll hit back, there's no doubt about that.
Yes, early days. Thanks for joining us. Exclusive coverage on Fox Sports of the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. Gee, some real brutality. The hits out there. Luke McInnes, welcome to Allianz. He may as well just charge into a brick wall.
We've all done that before. It's not a good feeling.
So the Tigers playing with a spring in their step now. Brad Chatfield upended. Grant Layers out there now wearing jersey 17 for Mounties. That was perilously close to above the horizontal. Here's little Scotty Jones. Look for him to run a lot more as the game winds on. He can be pretty dangerous out of acting half. Huge kick has hit the ground and sped up. So not the ideal end to that. The Mounties will restart on their 20 with a 7-tackle set.
Well, it's the worst possible finish these days. You know, it never used to be 12 months ago, but now it's 7 tackles. It makes a big difference. You see in the NRL week in and week out, teams scoring tries off the back of that. So it's all important that you get the depth of the kick right. And unfortunately for the Tigers on that occasion, they didn't.
Brady Chessier. He played with the Penrith Panthers under-20s and also played for Blacktown in the Ron Massey Cup before linking up with Mounties. Good defence there by O'Hara, the veteran, standing his ground in the centre. Tangata, excellent run, looked inside and tucked the ball under his wing. Charged beyond the halfway line. Munro was the tackler. Joey Bond looking to play a bit of footy. Chopped down with some rushing defence. Outstanding effort the front row. Luke McInnes. That's inspirational stuff, and it's exactly what's required on Joey Bond, or he'll carve you up. Another kick, swirling. Spectacular take by Perry LeBrock.
Great take from LeBrock. We spoke about Ryan O'Hara from the entrance and the impact he could have as we see the take here. Beautiful take. But McInnes, the other front row from the Tigers, has been sensational as well for them. But place, he kicked that.
What a tackle.
Good tackle. That kick, that bomb then was on the 4th tackle. So I'm not too sure why you're putting a bomb out from 40 metres out on the 4th tackle. You normally go at least to the 5th tackle, but anyway.
See there that the 19 is on the field now for the entrance Tigers. His name, it looks like it's pronounced Thurjar, but it's actually pronounced Toya, which is nothing like Thurjar. And I got that info from the entrance Tigers coach yesterday. I was pretty concerned about that name. Another kick. It's gone too far.
Yeah, we spoke about the importance. It was only a couple of minutes ago that the entrance Tigers did exactly the same thing. They didn't get the kick right, they didn't get the depth right. Now it's 7 tackles for the Mounties. I'm not sure if there's a strong breeze now that's picked up maybe behind their backs, but there have been huge kicks from the halves.
Jacob Mayer to his feet. Winning contest in the grand final, 10 points to 6. The underdog, the entrance Tigers leaders. This player, Gus Ager, who just threw the ball, is Sam Cassiano's cousin. Fred Pakatoa it was that came up with it. Now it's Grant Lay going for a run. Runs into good defence. And some nice work here by Mounties. It comes out to Dave Carlane. And LeBrock ends up with it. Penalty to Mounties.
It was a beautiful play from the Mounties. They had the extra man on the right-hand side, but it was the defence of LeBrock. He saves, I think, maybe even a try. Comes in off his wing, goes for the one-on-one strip, and unfortunately for him, one of his other players gets involved. You'll see it here. Saves it there. He's the winger coming in on the centre to make. Goes for the one-on-one, as you can see there. But Malala Malua was the man that got involved, and unfortunately for him, the penalty was given away.
Brady Chessier to his feet. Jacob Mayer runs into Troy Adams and Scotty Jones. Jones getting through a power of defence. That's his 13th tackle of the game. The Tigers number 9. Joey Bond really looking lethal out there when he's given some latitude. Munro crunched him. but not before Bond scared the daylights out of the Tigers. Attempted offload by Pakatoa.
Big numbers right here.
Plays it back to Lay. Then Bond to Matt Place, and he gives it on to Brady Chessier. And that was a great tackle on Chessier. And it was one that had to be made. So real opportunity for Mounties to hit back. It comes to Liato and then to Pakatoa. And the Entrance Tigers, they get their hand on it. That is 6 more. And a little bit of nonsense from the boys. Matt Place objecting to something. Was there a half attempted punch in there?
I think there was.
We'll have a look at that. There could be a sin bin coming up.
Well, Place grabs him by the jumper and throws the old left jab.
Just keep him down, all right? Yeah, no, I'm 6.
It was this guy here, Place, who actually threw the left jab, but he was holding the jersey. We've seen it in the Bulldogs and Manly game
Yeah, I know.
in the first grade a few weeks ago.
Just wait.
So Mounties to get the penalty.
Wait. Line,
Now,
boys.
he could be lucky, Place. It looked initially like the fist has come into contact with the jaw or the chin.
You've just got to hold the jersey, Tappy. That's the new one. The players have got to get away with it by holding the jersey.
Pakatoa towards the line. And 3 Tigers drag him down, including Dylan Toya. Ryan O'Hara, Scott Jones. So O'Hara has played every minute of this game, the 34-year-old veteran. Place a big pass on the outside to Kalane. Kalane threw it back to Theo Liato. He's dancing and prancing, eventually put down by O'Hara, who gets across there. The veterans having some game for the Entrance Tigers. Grant Lay now in 17. He offloads, gives it back to the lock forward, Jacob Mayer. And Mayer is stopped by Adam McInnes. Danger here for the Tigers. Place on the outside. Great defence. Malaya Malau racing up. They're not done with yet, though, Mounties. This is the fullback, Liato. Liato trying to punch his way through the line. Tackled on the 10-metre line. On tackle number 5, it comes to Matt Place, inside ball, and he got it away too. And it's play on, is it? Matt Place gets across the line. So we'll wait for the ruling. It was a turnover. So the Tigers, they dodge a bullet, and that is great scrambling defence. They had to defend consecutive sets.
It was an unbelievable defence from the Tigers, and as you mentioned, they defended consecutive sets, but it was good attack from the Mounties. So to be able to hold that out, we spoke about O'Hara covering. Mala Malau saved the try on the other side with brutal defence. So confidence and good signs for the Entrance heading forward.
Ryan O'Hara I just spoke of. I actually said he's played every minute. As soon as I said that, he got taken off. He certainly has earned a rest, been in everything.
Held 3, don't work.
So just short of the half-an-hour mark in this match. And we've certainly got a willing contest out here. Fione on replacing O'Hara for the time being. That was Fione in 17 you just saw playing the ball. Oh! Knock on at the back. Well, a big play. Massive opportunity for the Entrance Tigers to extend their lead ahead of the break.
An uncharacteristic mistake from Liato. He's a great footballer, one of the best in this team, the Mounties. Doesn't normally come up with errors like that. Can't believe he's done. I was just about to criticise the half, Fitzpatrick. They're kicking early, and there's no worry about kicking early. I mean, I like kicking early. You get on the front foot, you get your football down, your team down the other end of the field. But if you're going to find the fullback like he did then, there's no point. But in the end, he made the mistake and it's come off for him.
That's worked well. David O'Neill to his feet. Scott Jones. Now surging onto it is Ryan Jowett in jersey 18. He only got a call up this morning ahead of kickoff. Jones dummies, runs, and then gives it on to Sam Fione. Expat Kiwi Fione to his feet. Close range, aren't they? The Tigers, they'll be hard to hold out. McInnes taking the line on. And Jacob Mayer for the Mounties making the tackle. Stick Scott Jones from acting half. Is he there? Scott Jones, has he got it down? Referee deliberating.
We got a try. Check groundy, mate.
So, The Entrance Tigers players rejoicing. Cassidy thinks it's a 4-pointer.
Got tackle fine.
Well, he's given the try, so you've got to prove otherwise. Scott Jones deserves the 4-pointer. He's been so good for the Tigers today. Does he get the football down? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It really is.
One thing's for sure, you can't say he didn't.
That's exactly right, Tappy, and that's what they've got to prove. They have to prove that he doesn't get this football down over the try line. Certainly looked like he went close. From this angle here, he lands just short. Just here, he lands just short. Is that on the line or not? We can't possibly tell. But as we said, they've given the try on the field, so you tend to think they're going to lean that way.
I agree with you. There's no conclusive proof
Just there.
that it's not a try. And what a bonus for the Entrance Tigers, that mistake by the Mounties fullback.
Yeah, it was an uncharacteristic one from him.
Mate, have we got to play the ball at the line or 10 metres out?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Held up.
No try.
Well, the Tigers are back. They're back nearly set for the kickoff.
Got held up, boys.
There's Scott Jones. I outlined or alluded to him, if you like, in our pre-game segment. He's 110% competitor.
Oh, he's been great. He really has been physical in defence, creative out of dummy half as Jones. He's made 16 tackles, a couple little darts out of dummy half as he did then. I think he's unlucky not to be awarded that.
Played plenty of New South Wales Cup, so he knows his way around the park. And a kick that's a pity, isn't it? So the pressure comes off. And Joey Bond will race out to the 20. Look out, here comes a quick tap, and there's a little bit of space for Joey. He's a flyer and an athlete, some razzle-dazzle too. He's still going, Joey Bond, and eventually put down by Munro.
What about the run from Joey Bond? Just gets better and better, but the kick from Fitzpatrick from the entrance, coach killer. The worst possible result for them. That's 3 in a row. 3 kicks gone dead, 7 tackles for the opposition, and he can't give the football to the Mounties.
Pakatoa playing the ball. Pakatoa, another player formerly aligned to the Melbourne Storm, running around in this Mounties outfit. Penalty. Obstruction there. Matt Place giving the ball onto the fullback Liato, who ran straight behind Brady Chessier. And that's a fair call.
It is a fair call. We probably don't see that enough in first grade. The referee, good decision from him. He calls it straight away. That's an old-fashioned shepherd. It should be given a penalty all day, every day. But sometimes we don't see that these days. So good call from the referee.
Harley Ridge playing it. McInnes gives it to Dylan Toya, another North Ryde junior, his second year at the Entrance Tigers. Now stemming onto it is Sam Fione. Great run by Fione. He's dropped at the back there by Theo Liato. Mounties defensive line a little disjointed. Here's Munro, and the Tigers. Oh, no! It was beautifully constructed and fell apart at the seams.
Did it what? Good execution at the start, but the finish. Did he overrun it, the winger O'Neill, or not? I'm not sure. Look at the play they put on then from Nelson. Nelson throws it to O'Neill. Not the best pass, but he seemed to be there a little bit early. They've done all the hard work. They created the extra man on the outside. You can see there, he looks like he's either a... There's Ron Massey now.
Yeah, legend of rugby league.
Absolute legend. Great to see him here, Tappy.
Yeah, one of the true doyens of club football operations was obviously the late Jack Gibson's right-hand man for many years. And a man held in high esteem throughout rugby league circles. Ager to his feet. You know that play that was almost a try for the Entrance. He could have gone short to Chatfield, his centre, who could have very easily got there.
Maybe he had too many options. You see that play for the Melbourne Storm. Proctor throws it back to Slater, and then you've got either Korobite or Wanga who normally finish it off. It's a great play, and the execution was superb, but it was just the finish, and you can't help but think, as we see, is this a knock on? It is, so another opportunity for the Entrance, but they've got to take their opportunities, Tappy. They've had a number of them now. They can't keep the Mounties in this match because they'll come back and it'll end up hurting them in the end.
Yeah. Ryan O'Hara and colleagues. I've got to say, congratulations to the New South Wales Rugby League for stepping up their 3 competitions and playing on the big stage today at Allianz and really having a genuine go at promoting a gate kick off the back of the scrum. And Lewis Vaiutu was over there for Mounties. Under pressure.
Put her away. Put her away. I'm sorry. They've had so many opportunities. They've kicked 3 balls dead, Fitzpatrick. And then he kicks off the scrum. There's 6 minutes to go. They've ruined their last 2 opportunities they've had on the Mounties try line. I don't mind taking the opposition on and backing yourselves and putting on set plays, but you've got to execute them right. That's a coach killer. That is really a poor play for mine.
Braith, can you say what you really mean and stop sitting on the fence?
Oh, put it away. You know what? There's games when you're either on or you're not. You know what I mean? I can say that myself. There's games when you really are finding touch. You can kick a 40-20. You could set up a couple of tries. And there's games when you're not. You put it away when you're not.
All right, so they'll regroup. They do lead 10-6, though. Possession-wise, Mounties still, according to the stats, have had more football at 53%. Certainly the Entrants have had more than that in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Oh, that's a punch, all right. Sin Binning coming up here, and it's on.
There's more on the sideline. Look at this.
In the Massey Cup Grand-Final, this is silly. This is ridiculous.
Well, they're on the stand.
Oh, this is stupid.
You don't see this very often. No. They're still throwing them.
Given the new laws of the game, it's a grand final, boys.
There'll be no one left.
Now, what will the referees do here? There's been 1,000 punches thrown. It's spilled over the bench, really. I've got to say it's disgraceful.
It is.
It's disgraceful.
Well, this is the difference. This is the difference. This wouldn't happen in New South Wales Cup. This wouldn't happen in first grade.
Get away.
And for mine, it's unprofessional.
Walk away, boys.
Look at this.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what,
Boys, walk away.
Munro started it.
Take him to the 20. Adam, take him to the 20.
You can see why
Here it is, bang.
Horton's reacted, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
For the entrance.
Yep.
Munro has started it all.
You had the retaliation from the Mounties.
Wasn't a good shot from him
And
then.
then had 18 and 3 in a fight over in the corner.
Okay.
You see in the background, see the 3 there in the background in the 18. They start going as well. They're throwing punches.
Cool, you...
He unleashed a
Short lefts, about 10 of them.
Not one of them connected, but it looked spectacular.
He won't be retiring to be a boxer like.
So you'd think Munro and Horton will both be binned, wouldn't you? For starters.
Well, look at this here.
This is ridiculous.
Let's see who throws a punch.
Okay.
That's at the end, but there, Tappy.
All in Simbin? Yep, okay. All right, we'll deal with these guys first. So, 12 and 18. 12 and 3, sorry. 12 and 3. Okay, 12 and 3.
So we know you reacted.
Hey. You're getting the penalty. Okay. Boys, listen to the report.
Right, you had the penalty.
Yep.
Mounties retaliated by throwing punches with the 12, and then you had 3 throwing punches in the corner there.
Okay, both of you go sit down for 10. Go. Just wait there for me. Wait there for me.
But do you think Munro should go for 10?
I do.
12 and 18.
He didn't throw a punch, but he started this whole thing.
Oh, he slapped him across the face in the play of the ball.
He's got to go. In my eyes, Munro at least got to go.
Had the penalty originally for the throwing of the punches.
18
also got involved with throwing punches, so you got both 12 and 18.
Okay, both of you go sit down for 10.
Yeah. If Jowett was throwing punches.
You count yourself very lucky.
With the,
Count yourself very lucky, all right?
with the other Mounties player that got 10 in the bin as well. They were in the background.
Hey. Boys,
Munro.
that's the only
The
time
entrance
I'm gonna
12.
do, all right?
Yeah, I think it was Dargan.
Calm the boys down. You're playing with 11. If it keeps continuing, more of you will sit down, all right?
So Cassidy, he handled that reasonably well, the referee.
He did. Well, the players that threw the punches, they got 10 in the bin. That's the way it should be. That's the rules as it is today. That's what happened in first grade. Let's move on.
Let's go down to Nathan Feen on the touchline. That must have been horribly close to you.
Mate, it was right on top of me, boys. My whole life flashed before me. But look, it's just frustration creeping into this game. Both sets of forwards just a little edgy at the moment. The Tigers just can't seem to execute on the Mounties line, which is causing a bit of frustration. Horton giving away the initial penalty that blew this all up. The Mounties just need to get back into the game. Their last few sets they haven't been able to complete. They need to get down the other end of the field and start mounting some pressure on this Tigers defence.
Thanks, Nathan. You got a good ringside seat today. Oh, inside ball to Joey Bond to the fullback catch. Sprints, toes it through again. Oh, spectacular stuff from the Mounties 7. Trying to exploit the fact there is inevitable space out there with 2 players in the bin. He's just got so much speed.
It was the offload there in the back on the inside to Bond. Chip and chase. If he taps this on, he doesn't get the bounce. If he gets the bounce there, he scores the try. Tries to kick it on, but unfortunately for him, just kicks it a little bit too hard. He's electrifying.
Being the dominant player on the field.
Well, now, too, with 2 players off either side, there's more space on the field. We've got 11 versus 11, and a player like Bond can take advantage of that. That's certainly what he's done so far today, and even more so now. There's an error coming out. It's
been towed through. Mitch Beggs is out after it for Mounties. And gee, that's close. Getting back there, Alan Malaya Malau. Great effort.
Well, he saved the day. He saved the day. I looked for all money that Beggs was going to get there early on, but Malaya Malau is too quick. And he got there in the nick of time.
An incredible chain of events in the last 5 minutes here. A little bit of insanity has prevailed.
It's been an exciting game. We don't like to promote violence in our game and throwing punches, but it certainly brought a lot of entertainment. There's no doubt about that, and it's opened the game up with only a couple of minutes to go before half-time.
Dargan and Horton in the bin for Mounties. Munro and Jowett in the bin for the entrance. Grant Lay been with the club since 2009. He's played over 100 grade games for Mounties. So is this an opportunity for Mounties ahead of the half-time break to hit back? Brady Chessier. You play it back to Brendan Newton, who's out there now wearing jersey 20. This is Mitch Beggs. Upended, doing a good tackle. And from Newton, it goes to Chessier again. He's proven to be fairly dangerous, and he's lost the ball this time. He's a hard man to tackle. So coming up with it is Dylan Toyer for the entrance Tigers. 35 seconds out from the half-time break. And the entrance Tigers leading by 4. I thoroughly enjoyed this first half.
It's been a great first half of footy.
Malaya Malau. Good tackle over there by Dave Carlane. And the back rower, Chessier. Now Brad Chatfield doing as we so often see, dropping back and charging in behind the markers on an angle. Scott Jones and onto Sam Fione. A couple of his carries have been supreme quality since he came into the match. He's proven he can do some damage. Look at the size of those legs. How would you like to tackle that? Half-time. Allianz Stadium, Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. 10 points to 6 in favour of the entrance Tigers. We'll take a break and come back in just a moment and look back at the first half highlights. So in the half-time break here at Allianz Stadium, New South Wales Rugby League Grand Final day, and in this fixture, the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final, it's the Tigers leading Mounties by 10 to 6. Been a really interesting first half. If you may have missed the news, there are 2 players on both sides in the sin bin. But here's the half-time stats with Braith.
As we can see, 10 points to 6 to the entrance. Mounties have had most of the possession, but the entrance have had probably better field position and more opportunities, which they haven't taken. As you can see there in their own half, 59% compared to 41. Line breaks 3-1 to the entrance. Missed tackles, the entrance have had more, but really looking at the scoreboard, the entrance should be more ahead than what they are.
Indeed. Some of their kicking has let them down, but they still maintain a 4-point margin. Horton was the first try scorer. This is how it happened.
Started with Bond. He's been the best player on the field, the number 7 for the Mounties in the first half. He was dangerous early on. Cross play back through the middle. Good little grabber from himself. Taps it on for then Horton to come through for the first try of the day for the Mounties, and their only one. And then they hit back straight away. Did the entrance, and it was off a bit of a loose ball, but it was a good pick up from Munro, and a good signs for the entrance to get on the scoreboard straight after the Mounties had scored down the other end.
This is one of the players in the sin bin. Munro across the stripe, and then in the 19th minute, the entrance would score again with Perry LeBrock in the corner.
Yeah, it was good work this pass here from Massey Cup. That was a beautiful ball. Probably should have threw it earlier. We spoke about McGuinness running the ball. He did then. This Massey Cup around the corner pass, the best of the first half. But as we said, he probably should have threw the pass to LeBrock earlier, but he didn't. But they got the job done in the end.
All right, so the score summary here at Allianz Stadium for the entrance Tigers. Tries to LeBrock and Munro. O'Neill 1 from 2. And Horton getting the try for Mounties. He duly converted his own try. So 10 plays 6. A reminder, after full time in this Ron Massey Cup Grand Final, it's exclusive coverage of the New South Wales Cup Grand Final. The Penrith Panthers, the minor premiers, to tackle the Newcastle Knights. You'll see that live from Allianz Stadium at 3 p.m. today on Fox Sports. On that note, we'll take a break from Allianz and come back with all the second half action in the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final in just a moment. Thanks for being with us at Allianz Stadium. Half-time in the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. 10-6 to the entrance Tigers. You'd have to describe them as the outsider in today's contest. Mounties on paper fielding the stronger of the two teams. But despite some errors and shooting themselves in the foot on occasions, you see Rick Stone sitting up in the grandstand ahead of the New South Wales Cup Grand Final. But despite shooting themselves in the foot on a number of occasions, the entrants still lead on the scoreboard.
They do lead, and they should lead. As you mentioned, Scotty Jones, the number 9, has been superb for them. He had a try disallowed from the entrance that was given a try on field, went to the video. It was inconclusive, and unfortunately for him, they disallowed that. But they've had a number of opportunities they haven't taken, and in a football game, that can come back to haunt you. And the Mounties can score tries, so it should be a good second half.
That could have easily gone the other way, the Scott Jones
It could have
touchdown.
easily, yeah.
I would not have been surprised at all had they have given it the green light. There is Joey Bond. He has been, well, certainly the star of the first half. There's his stats on screen.
They've had quite big raps out from Joey Bond. I spoke to Brett Kamali actually in the break, and they said he's got a lot of potential, and we've seen that in the first half. I can see him as a great player, there's no doubt about that. The skills that he's shown, the ability that he's dominated at times throughout the first half. I certainly see him playing New South Wales Cup at worst, and even having a chance of playing first grade down the future. So let's see if any teams pick him up.
Yeah, he had a few starts in New South Wales Cup at fullback this season. He spent some time with the Broncos as well, and I mentioned earlier Redcliffe in the Queensland Cup. He does appear to have unbridled potential. So the second half underway, the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. Looking forward to the ensuing 40-minute period. There was plenty to like about the first half. And of course, both teams, if you may have just joined us, starting this second half with 11 players each on the field, by virtue of 2 from each side in the bin. Fitzpatrick and the ball to Dylan Toyer. Second year at the entrance Tigers. Plays it to Scotty Jones. Went left, then charges right, and there's a pass on the outside. Now, not a bad ploy. David O'Neill, and loses the football. Gus Ager's got it on the far side.
Yeah, and you know, before the break, I was critical of the entrance and their 5th tackle options. And just there, they had to be patient. Get to their 5th tackle, either put it out or have a more attacking kick. So they've failed again in that department, and they've put pressure on themselves again.
Crunching tackle on Grant Lay. Now in 20, it's Brendan Newton. Wrapped up by Sam Fione. Also in the tackle, Dylan Toyer. Matt Place at first receiver. Joey Bond. The back line set, lovely work. It comes away to Louis Vaiutu. No support on the inside. Took the tackle, got up, went again. Now throws a dummy. And eventually put down by Malaya Malau.
Massive numbers left. They need to throw it.
Tackle 5. They just got to let it go. Joey Bond. Double pumps. He scoots through. He gets across the line. Try. Joey Bond making it look easy. Too good for them.
Well, he outsmarted me then. I said throw the pass. He had to throw the pass. This is the lead-up work. Good work from him. Draws in the centre. The break from the winger down the right-hand side. There was huge numbers out to the left for the Mounties. You'll see here, you can see the winger in the centre there already. So much room on the outside for Bond, but why not take the line on? Full of confidence, good fancy footwork. Dominant with ball in hand for the whole of the first half. Created their first try for the Mounties. And here again, just steps off the left foot. Dummy and go. Too good. Shows his class. What a player, Bond.
Did you say he's off contract?
That's what I was just... I mean, I mentioned that only a couple of minutes ago. Joey Bond, I think he has potential not only to play New South Wales Cup, but to play first grade. I really do. I mean, I'm not sure about his consistency. I don't watch him week to week, to be honest. But from what I've seen today, geez, he's just skillful. He's classy. He creates something every time he touches the football. And that's what you need out of a half as well.
He mesmerised the entrance on that occasion. So Mounties will go back to the front. They were first to score, went to a 6-0 lead. Then the entrance responding with 2 quick tries. So Mounties 12 leading the entrance 10 on the touchline. It's Nathan Finn.
Mentioned the skill and the speed of Joey Bond, but he's been well supported in his combination with the Mounties 5'8", Matt Place today. His selective passing game has been outstanding. He's controlled the kicking game in good ball, and he's really tested the entrance fullback Grant Nelson, who has been up to the challenge so far. His positional play has been fantastic. The entrance, if they're going to win this one, they need to get their 5th tackles right.
Well, that's not going to hurt them, is it? Thanks, Nathan. So the entrance to get the football back. It's a bizarre game, rugby league, sometimes.
It is, and I'm sure in the back of Cheshire's mind he's thinking, do I catch this or let it go? Because if he lets that go, it was a possibility of going over the sideline on the full. In the end, he didn't even look like catching that. I think it's gone straight through his hands. And Cheshire, you mentioned his first half, how damaging he'd been on the right-hand side, but he's come up with 2 errors the last 2 times he's had the football in his hand, and he's let the entrance back in. Let's see if they can take advantage of the opportunity, which they couldn't do in the first half.
So the entrance Tigers on the attack, early stages of the second half. Here's Nelson. And, could have almost got that to Brad Chatfield. It would have been try time without a doubt. Now Sam Fione. And Fione put down by Chessier. Scott Jones.
Great ball.
Fitzpatrick, and on the outside it now comes to O'Neill. Got some work to do. Got the ball from Brad Chatfield. And O'Neill, some solid defence on him. They come to the open side now. Fitzpatrick, the former Bulldog. And now it's Sam Fione. Tackled right on the Mounties 10-metre line. 12 plays 10. Fitzpatrick, not a good pass. It's David O'Neill. The momentum breakdown, and he was tackled easily. Now comes to Fitzpatrick again. A terrible kick.
Well, it's a 40-20.
A terrible kick.
Look how hard he's kicked that. I've been so critical of Fitzpatrick in the first half. He's kicked 3 footballs dead. He's kicked 1 out off a scrum on the first tackle, and that kick then, he's taken all the pressure off the Mounties. He's obviously down in confidence with his kicking game, so he needs some help. He needs McGuinness to step it up, his counterpart in the halves, to take some pressure off him.
Good run there by Gus Ager. Former Cabramatta player. Also was with the Illawarra Cutters in the New South Wales Cup. So Mounties in possession, 1 metre. Entrance Tigers territory. Matt Place looked inside, dummied. Took off, as you could see. It turned out to be a valuable run. Harley Ridge was the tackler. So Mounties have got some momentum at the moment. Pakatoa. And now the chest here. Here's danger. Matt Place, a little pass over the top. It's been dropped. It'll be an entrance Tigers, loose and feed. And that was looking ominous for the entrance.
Great work from the Mounties. Watch this tackle from Fitzpatrick. Come up with the poor kick down the other end of the field, but makes up for a great defensive effort. Solid tackle from the halfback. I love that. I love that. It's a good hit back from him. I know I've been really critical of his kicking game, and particularly the kick he just put in down the other end of the field, but he's made up for it. He's come up with a big tackle, and he's taken the pressure off his team, which is a good effort from him.
No. We've got players back on. Back to me.
Approaching the 47th minute mark in this game. Possession still with Mounties, 54%. Completions, Mounties 13 from 21. The Entrance Tigers 14 from 18. And now the Entrance attempting to get out of trouble deep in their own territory. The missed tackles, there's been 29 in total, 18 to the Entrance, 11 Mounties. Scott Jones into acting half. I agree, that was a tremendous tackle by Fitzpatrick to shake the ball loose. Dylan Toya, meantime, goes for a run for the Entrance Tigers. We sadly won't be in the Ron Massey Cup competition. If you perhaps missed our pre-game segment, I mentioned that today is their Ron Massey Cup swan song. And I've got to say, it's not the first time that's happened. Just after they won the comp in 2007, they didn't participate the next year due to budgets or perhaps a lack of. Kick through from Fitzpatrick between winger and fullback. Louis Vaiutu has the football, and a wall of orange and black awaits him.
Nice kick from Fitzpatrick then. Found the space. Took the pressure off his team. That's exactly what they need. But then Vaiutu, didn't he bring the ball back hard then as well?
The lane plays it. He did.
3, 19, clear. Hold, Scott, good.
So still just a 2-point ball game in the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. A good carry by Pakatoa. It's his 3rd season with Mount Pritchard. Joey Bond got again showing that he's got plenty of time, and eventually chopped down by Jake Fitzpatrick, his opposite number, in a good tackle. Big kick downfield and taken nicely by Nelson, who had the sun in his eyes.
Oh, yes.
And got the ball away beautifully to David O'Neill. He's jet propelled down the eastern touchline. Did so well to stay in the field of play. Dargan got him. Very fleet of foot. And now the Tigers, a little bit of room to move. Through the hands, it comes to Ryan O'Hara. Dave Collane makes the tackle. Tigers penalty. Laying in the ruck.
What about the work from Nelson? The fullback got it over to O'Neill, gets him in the good field position as they are now. Perfect opportunity for the Entrance.
So 15 out. Fitzpatrick, a dummy, takes them on. Grant Lay rushing up in defence. Scott Jones, will he run or will he pass? He gives it on to Dylan Toya. Toya for the line. There are 4 Mounties there. They roll him over, and he'll play it a few blades of grass short of the line. Jones might have a crack from acting half. He doesn't. Goes with Fitzpatrick, and now with McInnes. And good run by Ridge. So pressure here for Mounties. They go to the slot side. Perry LeBrock, as he got his 2nd try. They're saying no, and he's not happy about it.
Hello, Jay.
He bounced it perhaps. We'll get another look. Here it comes.
Yeah, we'll see from front on LeBrock. Look to have scored the try in real play, but does he bounce the ball and get the football down over the try line? Wow.
That's a try.
It's got to be a try. Is it short of the line or does it touch the line? I'd like to see a different angle. But
Boys.
So you don't want to be in the paper for the next week?
Boys.
you don't want to be in the paper for the next week. Here he goes.
Hang on.
We go on to the video, I think. We're going to have a look
Well,
at
why
this.
wouldn't you go to the video?
I don't know, Tappy.
Right.
You tell me, mate.
So you got try, no try?
That's a try.
Now he's saying try the touch judge. He said, I've got try.
Boys, we have a try. Boys, go away. Cools, can you check it all down here, thanks?
I like the convincing.
Talk about the agony and the ecstasy. LeBrock was filthy. Now he's grinning like a carpet snake in a foul house.
I love how the touch judge has seen the replay on the big screen and said it's a try after he's seen the replay.
Yeah, it's a try.
He was right there in the first place. Of course it's a try.
Go away.
And then you check on the big screen, they check on the big
Hey,
screen.
hey, hey. Boys.
They can't take that off them, can they?
It's a try.
Point of the ball's on the line. So here we go. And try.
Big call.
LeBrock, he's pumped.
He's fist pumping LeBrock. Look at him.
Try number 2.
And it was the combination on the left again. Again on the left-hand side. Massey Cup, dummy to the open side. You'll see here, dummies to the open, sees LeBrock with space. Plenty of work to do as well. Dives down low, good finish from the winger to get his second try of the afternoon. And not only are they back in the match, but they've taken the lead.
You can see Ryan O'Hara getting the troops together. Long way to go, boys, but they respond as they have done. Each time we've seen Mounties go to the front, the entrants have come straight back at them.
In my eyes, they really needed that because of the opportunities they'd had in the first half. They hadn't taken them. For the Mounties to come out after half-time, put the first points on the board, they could have easily skipped away. But to the credit of the entrants, they've hit back hard, and they've got the lead, and they deserve it. They really do. But it would have been controversial, Tappy, if they didn't give that try. At the end of the day, we would have been talking about this for a long time.
Well, I would have kept talking about it for a while. It was a try.
I just love the touchy.
Here's O'Neill from wide out, an important kick away across the face of goal.
Yeah, the touchy, obviously he said no try when it happened because they didn't even go to the video. Then when they've come back, the referee said to the touchy, "What do you think?" He said, "I think it's a try." So they've awarded a try in normal play when they weren't even going to go to the video referee.
Why do you sound confused? What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's hilarious. I love it.
So 14-12. Great battle.
Oh,
and Allianz Stadium, and now this is a crazy game. How does that happen off the back of points?
Wow. Wowee.
And you can see...
It's very entertaining, I can tell you that. The last kickoff after points, Cheshire dropped it over the sideline. And now from this kickoff, McGuinness has let it bounce, and the worst possible result for the entrance. Now the Mounties are going to get the football back in perfect field position.
Yeah, Adam McInnes, the entrance 5'8", not happy with himself. So Fitzpatrick to take the line drop out. And what is it, about 40 metres on the fly, and it stops. And as you said, Braith, they get to start this set. Good field position. Will they respond? Tangata, the skipper. It was a good run. Now Mitch Beggs. At acting half is Brendan Newton, who got a late call up in this game. He dummied the Tangata there and scooted about 6 metres. Wrapped up quickly, so very important stage of the game. Here's Liato. Liato comes to Fitzpatrick and Munro. All those that were in the sin bin, been back out there for a few minutes. Comes across open side to Mitch Beggs. Bit of footwork and got the ball away to Brendan Newton. Newton in heavy traffic. Eventually stopped by Ryan Jowett. And also by Munro. Open side.
Nice kick.
Low grubbing kick through Scotty Jones, a hooker, sprinting there like an Olympic athlete, and he reins it in.
Great work from Jones. He's been sensational, experienced campaigner for the entrance, gets himself in the right position to defuse the kick and takes the pressure off his team.
What about that run there from Malau? He's a weapon, isn't he?
He is a weapon.
The left centre.
You can see him in grade 2. I mean, he scored the most tries for the entrance this year, but he's looked dangerous every time he's touched it, and he's been really solid in defence as well.
Now the other centre is Brad Chatfield. He's an Eden junior. 4 years with the entrance Tigers. So the Central Coast visitors churning their way downfield. Tackle 5, we see boot to ball and into the waiting arms of Theo Liato, who beat the tackle of David O'Neill. O'Neill came again to combine with Munro. So Mounties about 10 metres on their own side of halfway. Trailing by 14-12. There's plenty of time left in the game. Just under 25 minutes. Tangata. I mentioned earlier, he heads to England in 2015. He's linked up with Halifax. And here's some promising attack from Mounties, which broke down. Bond.
It should be 6 again.
Forced to scoot back. And arcing like run across field. Got away from 2 defenders. Now he straightens. He's still going, Joey. Oh, flick pass away.
Oh, he's got it all.
Showing all the skills. Great stuff. Matt Place. Now Liato. And Liato He was
Offload.
tackled by Place but bounced out of it. Now it's Mitch Beggs. He's got some footwork on him too. Some worrying signs for the Entrance Tigers. They're starting to fall off their tackles. That is tackle 5. And a great pass from Matt Place to Pakatoa. But it fell apart for them. Entrance in possession through Adam McInnes.
Not a bad play still from Place. Went down the short side, played it short to his back rower. Couldn't get over the try line. Not a bad finish to the set of 6 in the end, but it was the work from Bond again. What about the flick pass? He's dangerous every time he gets the ball in his hand, creating opportunities all over the place. But good defence from the Entrance.
He's the sort of player, he brings people to the football.
He does.
You want to see guys like that.
And he looks a step above. He just looks a little bit... He's outclassed his opposition today many times, and he just looks like he deserves to be playing at a higher level in my eyes.
Ah, mistake. Mistake. Brad Chatfield taking a carry for the Entrance and losing possession. You and I were talking to Brett Kamali during the half-time break, who's standing with us in the box, and Brett said that Joey Bond could win the game on his own. He's got that much potential, and
Well, watch
hasn't he
this.
shown that?
Watch this, Tabby. Bang. Looks like Benji Marshall, doesn't it, at his best? How good. Gets through. Nice little flick pass. Looks the open side. Throws it back through the middle.
Gus Ager.
He's a great player. He really is. I've loved watching him play today. Nice haircut too. Look at that. Sharp.
Arms around. Heads in.
I don't think I'd probably suit that haircut. What do you reckon, Tappy?
Hold the weight. In.
I've got
I reckon
one of those
I reckon
naturally.
you look good with that.
What do you guys continually talk about hair when you're working with me for? Dargan. Lay. Tangata. Thought about the offload. Munro was down low. O'Hara up top trying to wrap the football up. Matt Place at first receiver. Now Liardo. He gives it on to Kalane. And Kalane tackled by Alan Maleo. Liato. Place. In 17, it's Grant Lay. Not to be confused with Brett playing with number 9 on his back. Here's Brett Lay. Place. Bond. Danger. Bond for the line. And the Entrance Tigers scramble. They turn Bond away, who can't get a quick play the ball done.
Give him room.
That's about as slow a play the ball as you'll ever see. That's tackle number 5. Ordinary kick from acting half. A kick, and not a bad one. The Entrance
20.
survive.
They do, and Place put the kick. It wasn't high enough. It wasn't long enough either. There was some space out here for his outside men, but it wasn't the most, I suppose, best executed kick. And off the back of that, Callahan makes the error, and the Entrance survive again.
Good defence there by Matt Place. Those little effort areas you hear head coaches talking about. Place did really well. Scott Jones looking for a runner, forced to go on his own. Claimed by Brett Lay, his opposite number. Used to play in the halves, Brett Lay. He actually was with Parramatta in the Holden Cup in the under-20s for a period of time. Here's McInnes. And now the 11 is Harley Ridge. Tangata the tackler. McInnes at acting half. This is the other McInnes, Luke McInnes. Wrestled to ground by Matt Place and Adam Tangata. Tackle 5. McInnes. Kick through. The chase is good.
Oh!
And LeBrock has got his 3rd try. I thought it was going to roll touch in goal, and it stopped. LeBrock has come from the clouds, and isn't he having a good time?
It's his 3rd try of the day. McInnes puts a beautifully well-weighted kick into the left-hand corner. Adams couldn't cover it. You see McInnes puts the kick in. Beautiful little kick. Fioto, sorry, couldn't get there, and LeBrock gets his 3rd try of the afternoon. Good positional play, didn't give up on it, and a well-executed kick from the 5'8" McInnes. We've been talking about the kicking game of the Entrance. As man on screen, there he is, Perry LeBrock. He's got a hat-trick for the afternoon, but it was off the back of the McInnes kick, and I've been critical of Fitzpatrick from the Entrance in his kicking game. He's kicked 3 balls dead and a couple out.
You don't
and
say.
I said, they've got to start using McInnes. He's got to take pressure off himself. McInnes has got to put a few more kicks in. He does, and they score off it.
So what you're saying is you're a good judge.
Well,
That's what you're getting
I
the big
hope so.
bucks for, mate. That's what you're here for.
You know, I think Fitzpatrick just needed support. I mean, everyone, if there's one guy in the opposition who kicks the football all the time, he's going to have pressure on him. And McInnes has finally taken that off him. and they've been rewarded off the back of that.
So a tough one for O'Neill. It'd be handy, wouldn't it? 2012 with under 20 minutes remaining. The entrants, they won't go away despite their mistakes. They continue to compete hard, and they've led for the majority of this game. So O'Neill from just inside the western touchline and just pushes it across the face of goal again. He might have a bit of a technique problem. That has been pretty much the order of the day for him.
Yeah, there's a bit of a breeze too, so it looked like it was hooking a little bit, but the wind's pushed it out. But you've got to give credit to the defence of the entrants, because the Mounties have put a lot of pressure on them, particularly in the second half. They've had some good field position and they've had opportunities, but the entrants have held them out, and now they've been rewarded for that.
Don't forget Penrith, Newcastle, New South Wales Cup Grand Final coming your way live and exclusive on Fox Sports at 3 p.m. Prior to that, we're going to show you a highlights package of the 2 preliminary finals in the New South Wales Cup leading up to 3 o'clock. After full time here in this highly entertaining Ron Massey Cup Grand Final that has had it all, including, would you call it an all-in brawl?
Definitely an all-in brawl. One I haven't seen for a while.
O'Hara. 4 plays in total sent to the sin bin in the first half. Jones gives it on to Munro. He's a competitor, this guy. Got the Entrance Tigers' first try of the day. Put down in some solid defence by Brett Lay and Kurt Horton. Horton scoring Mounties' first try of the day. So not a bad set here by the Tigers as Chatfield plays it. Now Fitzpatrick, a bomb, and a number of Tigers racing through. It hasn't been touched by Mounties. It's still the last. A very forward pass is thrown there, and it's taken by Louis Vaiutu.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, not the best kick. Put the bomb up, had to be deep, it really did. It had to be deep. It was a good chase from the guys around the football, and they did their best, but the Mounties get the ball in pretty good field position.
This is Brett Lay. The contest between he and Scott Jones really starting to develop. Bond dummies to his left, looks inside to Wheaty Baker, who's back out there. Look at Bond. He is just so elusive. Eventually gets it to big Wheaty Baker, who now puts his head down and charges at the defensive line. Tackled on the Mounties 40 by Ryan O'Hara. Now Jacob Mayer casts a Steeden 1 metre into entrance territory. That's tackle number 5. Boot to ball, and racing across is Perry LeBrock. Scored 3 tries, took it on his own line. Little bit of space, and wrapped up all in all by Place and Jacob Mayer.
Beautiful kick from Place and Chase. Put it on the in goal. LeBrock brings it back, but makes a nice tackle too. He followed his kick, come up with the tackle. Good work from the 5'8".
Brad Chatfield. No way through there. Defence standing firm, comprising Wayne Dargan and another. It's David O'Neill trying to find a way through the Mounties' defensive wall. With Horton and Adam Tangata making sure that didn't happen. Fitzpatrick, he looked inside. Nelson, the fullback, was actually interfered with without the ball. Scotty Jones, you can see a dummy half, is not happy about it, and he's still down. So now we see McInnes kick that ball. A very average kick to Bond on the full. Bond is now back playing fullback, so we've seen him play half-back, wing and fullback today.
Yeah, we have got a player back down still in the field of play, and the trainers are trying to assist him now as the play's been pulled up. But there was a question mark whether he's taken out without the football, Tappy. I'm not too sure if we can.
Well, that's the way I described it at the time, and it was what Scott Jones was blowing up about.
This isn't it here. This is the high. No, this is just before we went to the stoppage of play to see who was down in the background.
Yeah, it's Grant Nelson, isn't it? It's the Tigers fullback.
Here it is here. Well, we can't see exactly who took him out, but it looks like someone has off the football. If we can get a clearer view, can they give a penalty from this?
Here we go.
But, geez, there wasn't much in it, was there?
Is there any chance he's done a knee and gone down? You couldn't see serious contact there.
It certainly didn't warrant a penalty, so hopefully he's okay. But
I'm not sure.
Well,
So Nelson is okay. It's tackle 2.
they need Nelson out there because he's been really good today. The fullback for the entrance, very dangerous at bringing the football back, and I certainly don't want him going off the field.
Here's Weedy Baker. Tried to steamroll Ryan O'Hara. That wasn't going to happen. Troy Adams assisting in defence. Matt Placid, first receiver. And ball onto the chest of Pakatoa. Pakatoa was stopped by Luke McInnes. And a lay. Matt Place. The bodies in motion. Bond
Nice
is
kick.
one of them. Kick over the top. Danger. Ager's out after it. He's got try. Gus Ager. Well done. Lovely kick. Ager burning the turf in pursuit of the ball.
I got a try.
Got his hands on it.
Check touchline and ground.
I can't see them taking that off him.
Looks for a try for all money, Tappy. We talk about Bond, his footwork, his speed, how elusive he is. But look at the vision on this occasion. We'll see if we can see the kick to the corner. It was obviously him who put the kick in for Agar. Sees it there short. The wingers, he's brought the winger up by taking the ball to the line. Puts in a nice little kick in behind, and Agar makes the catch. Does he get the football down or not? That's the question mark. Try. We have to see it from front on to see if he goes out, but all in all, the put down looks to be clean, as it is right there. It's funny, the entrants are complaining in the background saying that he's lost it, but I certainly can't see that.
No. Well, they'd say anything today, wouldn't they? It's a grand
They're
final.
doing it. I'd say the same, to be honest.
You got to try it on. Try. So the entrance Tigers extend the lead. Sorry, Mounties rather. Hitting back. My apologies. Brain fade.
Oh, haven't we got a game on our hands? It's been to and fro. The entrants had their opportunities. They took them in the first half. The Mounties have taken them in the second. Now a chance to even the score up with only 15 minutes less, 14 minutes to go. The back row is back on the field. He was off for 10 minutes for throwing punches, Horton. So now he's got a chance to level the scores. But what we keep talking about Bond, and I said in the call how good his footwork is and how dangerous he is with the ball in hand. But on that occasion, he showed really good vision. He's seen the winger was up. The kick, but he still had to execute the kick to perfection, and he's done that as well. He really has been head and shoulders the best player on the field today.
The player of the match to win the Chairman's Medal. Prestigious award. And the man you're looking at is Kurt Horton. Can he make it 18 all? He's right on the eastern touchline. Got a big kick on him. And in he comes, it's on its way, and yes! From the sideline! Horton, look at that smile.
Oh, what a kick.
18 all.
What a kick from Horton. We've learnt one thing today, he can kick goals better than he can throw punches. Because he didn't land too many earlier, but he's come on and made a difference. Scores level, what a game.
18 all, the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. Exclusive to Fox Sports. New South Wales Cup still to come. Here's Tangata. Who wants it most? 13 to go. You beauty. This is what football's all about. Dave Kalan. No, it's not. It's Weedy Baker. Baker not happy with Malau in the ruck. So Mayer plays it to Lay. This is the captain, Tangata. Matt Place. Kick rebounds off an entrance Tiger. Not played at. Bond. Sunday afternoon stroll. Decides to take them on.
What was he doing? Run the football, son. Not a bad result in the end.
Well, obviously it was played at before. Another set at 6, and a mistake, however, ultimately means the same result. The entrants get the ball back.
And it's his first mistake of the game. I think it was in the play, the ball from Bond. Could be critical, but I tell you what, he is human. He is human. Not a big mistake either. At the end of the day, just when you got to touch the football with your foot, but it must go backwards in the play of the ball. And on that occasion, it didn't and went forwards.
Heads
Live Sunday afternoon football. Thanks for joining us. And for those of you watching in New Zealand, welcome to our coverage too. Alan Malau. He's been good, hasn't he? Scott Jones at acting half. The entrance, can they snatch a 4-pointer here? And set up for a potential grab at the Ron Massey Cup trophy. Fitzpatrick, crunched by Adam Tangata. That was dominant, all right. Fitzpatrick was hurt. Here's Munro to the line, a kick which was poor. And Mounties come up with it, although they're 5 out from their own line with a lot to do.
Yeah, not a good kick from Munro. The idea was okay, but not on the third tackle. It was the third tackle, full set of 6, 18 all. You want to build pressure on the opposition or try and score a try if you can at least. And to put that kick in so early and not execute it as it should have been was a poor error from Munro.
Here's Culane taking a settling run for Mounties. The Sydney Shield Grand Final contested earlier between Mounties and East Campbelltown. It was won by the East Campbelltown Eagles. Wow, look out. It was won 27-20 by East Campbelltown over Mounties. Here's Grant Nelson. Gave himself heart failure the way he juggled that ball. Tangata getting a little aggressive and stands over his man too. David O'Neill. A little bit of feeling creeping back into this one, Braith.
There is. Tangata was lucky not to give a penalty away then. There's a knock on.
O'Hara has given the ball back.
Oh,
straight up.
No.
Mounties inside the final 10 minutes of this grand final. Weedy Baker, crossfield, big and strong as you can see. 3 Tigers required to get him on the ground. Lay. Forward pass to Tangata.
That's 2. Scott up.
It was allowed to continue. Jones the tackler. Weedy Baker, his second charge in this set.
That's 3.
Possession favouring Mounties at 53%. The Entrants have made 28 missed tackles. Mounties 20, far too many. And that will go into touch on the far side.
They're saying it's been touched. It's been touched. Nice set play again from the Mounties. They nearly scored off it early. I think it was actually the Entrants who put this play on in the first half. Horton throws the ball back to Liato. Touched there by Fitzpatrick. It was a good read from the halfback. Good defensive effort from the number 7 from the Entrants. But in the process, he's touched the football. So the Mounties will have another set of 6 on the Entrants try line.
Some afternoon for football, isn't it?
It's a beautiful afternoon and
cracking day.
They've turned it on for us too, these two teams. It's been a sensational match.
Theo Liato, tackler. Jacob Saifiti out there now for the Entrants. First time we've seen him in 16. Local junior. He signed with the Newcastle Knights, in fact, for 2015. Jacob Saifiti. So watch him in 16. Here's a short ball to Fred Pakatoa.
I'll tell you who we're going to look for here is Bond, because he's the danger man. He's created all their opportunities so far within the match. So wherever he is, that's where the ball should go.
Here's Mayer playing it back to Lay. Looking for Joey Bond. It's with him now to the line of dummy. Almost through. We saw him score a similar one. Early stages of the second half. That's tackle 5. Open side it comes to Theo Liato. And eventually gives the ball to Culane, and now it's with the winger Vaitu. He kicks it through. Entrance coming up with it. Desperate stuff from Adam McInnes.
Nice little bit of play. They went for the field goal. The Entrance rushed up to stop it. I think it was Place who was going to take the shot. They spread the ball through Liato to the right-hand side. Little kick from Vaitu. And they've ended up in good field position here, the Mounties. They'll be putting pressure on the Entrance, try and keep them in their own 20 or 30 metres. Doing a good job of it so far.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a big shot to shake the ball loose.
Bang!
And now it's Brad Chatfield. They cannot get out of their own end at the moment, the Entrance Tigers. 18 all, 7 to go. A kick towards the eastern touchline. So a scrum will pack about 5 metres into Mounties territory.
And that was purely and simply off the back of the defence from the Mounties. They finished in the right-hand corner. They really aimed up the forwards and put the pressure on the entrance, and Fitzpatrick was kicking from his own 20-metre line. He found touch, which in the end was a good result for his team because he's given them a rest. He's given them time to regroup and refocus, because at the moment, the Mounties are putting all the pressure and have all the field position, all the football. But the entrance defence has been great. It really has. The whole match, they've been tough and they've held them out.
Ball in.
So Mounties loose and feed. 18 all. And the clock is counting down. They'll start to think field goal.
Go back and play it on the mark, behind the line.
In the not too distant future, Pakatoa told to have another crack at playing it. Brett Lay is there. Weedy Baker, defence up sharply in his face. The carry was only about 5 metres, and they're 5 into the entrance Tigers territory.
It's looking to me like they're setting up for a field goal. It's been a really simple set. If they get to a post, you'd like to think they're going to take the shot.
Tangata, a bit of a blasé pass, it's got to be said. Now Matt Place has it.
Yeah, Bond's in the background, and he's telling his forwards to get him to a spot. You'll see here. He holds the ball, gets to position here. They should go for the shot soon.
Jacob Mayer to play it back to Lay, and here it is now to Matt Place. He's got plenty of time. Got it away, and well to the left of the uprights. He had enough time.
He had all the time in the world, and he was in a good position. There was no pressure. He just didn't hit it how he wanted to hit it. Now, the problem now, they've gone for the field goal and missed, is now there's 7 tackles for the entrance to get out of their own end and build pressure on the Mounties now.
0. Stand up.
Could be a missed opportunity there. When you look at it, he had all the time in the world in place.
Hold.
Scott Jones at acting half. Here's Munro. Runs into the right shoulder of Tangata. 18 all in the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. Inside the final 5 minutes. If you think this has been good, the New South Wales Cup Grand Final still to come.
Great run. They could get in a position for field goal here.
Toya. Great defence. Mounties. Here's Scott Jones at acting half. A lot of talk. Fitzpatrick, a long-range shot to the right of the uprights. We've seen 2 dead-set Barry Crocker attempts at field goal.
Yeah, but he's taken the kick on the 4th tackle from 40 metres out. Get a run in there, run an extra 10 metres, you'll have an easier kick. You won't have the pressure. I can understand taking it if you're closer to the post and you've got no pressure on you, but a big penalty here.
High tackle.
Against the entrance, and the pressure valve has been released. Now they're going to be in good field position.
Jacob Mayer was hitting it up for Mounties, and according to referee Adam Cassidy, was taken high.
I still don't know why they went for the field goal on the 4th tackle from 40 metres out. Take one more.
Well, Scott Jones was the defender. Trying to cover the ball up, wasn't he? Mitch Beggs, in his first year for Mounties, goes forward. Now Lay, and he gives it to Horton. Horton crosses the entrance Tigers 40-metre line. Tackler there was Dylan Toya. Matt Place.
Good play.
Dummies, and gives it to Joey Bond. And Bond tackled just outside the 30-metre line. The clock winding down, 18 all. Pakatoa now in 15. And put down by Troy Adams and also Adam McInnes. So a great chance for Mounties. Ideal field position as it comes to Weedy Baker. And Weedy Baker tackled by Safiti. Here we go. Bond, a field goal attempt. It's smothered by the entrance. Well done.
Play on.
And play on here with Troy Adams. Matt Place, the tackler. So the Tigers survived that onslaught. Brad Chatfield is tackled. Now here's O'Neill.
Great tackle.
Upended by Horton. We're watching a true grand final here, aren't we? Munro. It's tough out there.
Tackle 3.
They've called time off.
You got blood
Blood bin.
everywhere, mate.
Munro's got a big gash above his right eye, I think you'll find.
Just at the back, mate.
And the man that made the tackle's
Tackle
injured
3.
too.
Someone
Here's
else
the
play
attempt to drop goal.
3.
Great charge down by little Scotty Jones, who's been magnificent.
How good has he been today? You spoke about him before the game, Tappy, to keep an eye on him, and we certainly have. One of the most experienced players on the field. He's been everywhere. He had that try disallowed that was questionable, you know, at a critical time for his team, but even defensively, he's been superb. Everyone's nervous. Everyone's nervous. I'm nervous. What's going to happen? Who knows?
2.5 on the clock.
It can go either way. It can really go either way here.
Jacob Safiti to play it. He's the young man heading to the Knights of Newcastle in 2015. Obviously considered a fine prospect. This is Toya, Jones, O'Hara, a dummy, and how important will his settling influence be in this pressure cooker situation? Fitzpatrick, a long-range attempt again that was poor at best. He was under a bit of pressure, to be fair. But here's Liato. Toya the tackler. 2 minutes remaining in this Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. Louis Vautu. Gus Ager. Tackler was Munro, along with Jake Fitzpatrick. It's a grinding contest. Mitch Beggs. He's been good, Mitch Beggs. He's got some footwork on him. O'Hara the tackler. Matt Place drifting across field. Joey Bonda now on the outside to Dave Kalane. Good defence by Alan Malau. Wrapping him up around the legs. Here's Matt Place to the line. The chaser is offside. Bond is there. It's been an evil bounce for Grant Nelson. Nelson returning the football, getting himself into a little space, and put down now by Dave Kalane.
It was a good run from Nelson. Good little play from Place. Left foot kick. There's a fight on in the background.
Yeah, it's the fullback Nelson and Pakatoa.
The call play on.
Getting into it. Here's Perry LeBrock. 3 tries in the grand final, this man playing the ball. 55 seconds remaining. McInnes up to the halfway line.
Well, this could be the last set of 6 for the entrance, really. It's their last opportunity to get points and win the game.
Safiti. Golden point extra time applies. Scott Jones throws it out the back desperately. It's play on off. It's Patrick kicked it, then fell over. Weedy Baker's got it.
There's going to be time here. There's going to be time.
And Toya's got him. So the Mounties, they roll the dice downfield. Kurt Horton got the first 4-pointer of the day. 15 seconds. It's a terribly slow play the ball.
They've got to go one more than take the shot. Off the back of this, they have to take the shot.
Mitch Beggs. That footwork of his coming to the fore again.
Oh, he's called time off.
There's someone injured on the Mounties 40-metre line in back play with the trainer. There he is. It's Fitzpatrick. Looks like cramp more than anything.
Well, this is bad. This is bad timing for the Mounties. There's only 6 seconds on the clock. They would have got a quick play the ball off the back of that. Not so much pressure on the kicker. Now, the entrants know that whoever gets the ball here is more than likely going to take this shot at field goal. So he's going to have pressure on him from the defensive line.
It's like a war zone out there at the moment.
It is.
Talk about on the edge of your seat. The Sydney Shield Grand Final was a thriller. I'm sure the New South Wales Cup Grand Final will produce a great battle. So with 6 seconds remaining on the clock, we await referee Adam Cassidy to signal time on.
Bond's back on the halfway line. They've gone left. He's taken the shot.
An attempt from Horton. He's got a big kick on it. And it misses. Got some height.
It was a good strike.
Wow. It was a good idea.
It was. Well executed too, but he just missed it.
So 18 all, we go to golden point extra time.
What about the strike?
In the Massey Cup Grand Final. Didn't look to be that far away. Entrance Tigers players, heart in mouth. As Big Horton connected with that. It's also his first year in Mounties colours. Former Panther. Well, been a great battle, hasn't it? There's Jamie Forbes, the Entrance Tigers coach. Grand Final, number 10 in his coaching career.
And we head to golden point, Tappy. It deserves that. The game really does warrant that because you can't really say one team's been better than the other.
Obviously, Ryan O'Hara taking a major leadership role. Joey Bond reading the riot act to his troops. A lot of players starting to cramp, Braith. It is warm. What would you say, 25, 26 degrees?
Yeah, it is. Conditions have been perfect. Obviously, it is hot out there, and after 80 minutes of footy, your body's already feeling the heat, I suppose. And at the end of the day, when it's a hot day, you got to play in extra time. You see a lot of players cramping up, feeling the effects of the game, and it's been a tough game as well. It's been a physical encounter. And interesting to see which way the result goes as the toss here, to see which way you're on. Even when you do the toss for Golden Point, you don't really know what the better option is, whether you kick off or whether you receive, because if you receive, you get the football in your hands. If you make an error, you're under the pump. But then if you kick off, you can put pressure on the opposition and try and force an error. So I'd like to think kicking off would actually be the right decision if you did win it.
Interesting. Comments from a man that knows. So we'll have this first Golden Point extra time period underway shortly. So the Entrance Tigers, they go to the northern end of the ground.
And as I mentioned, so we've got the Mounties kicking off. The key for the Entrance is to not make a mistake. They need to make good meters and get a good kick away, which they've struggled with a little bit throughout the whole match. So their fifth tackle option is going to be very important at the end of this first set of 6.
Time to run. Behind.
So here we go in the Ron Massey Cup Grand Final. Golden Point extra time to decide the 2014 championship. And the expression about completing a set takes on a whole new meaning when you first to touch it in Golden Point extra time. Toya plays it. Again, no shortage of physicality out there. Mounties up sharply, racing off its line, trying to force an error. And this is Jacob Safiti. Safiti put down by Brett Lay and Wheaty Baker. Scott Jones to Fitzpatrick, and then on to Munro. And Munro strides beyond the Entrance 40-metre line. Scott Jones just short of the halfway line now. On tackle number 5. They look for the kick from the boot of Fitzpatrick. It's got plenty on it. This time he's got backspin on it. That's lovely. It pulls up. That's probably his best long kick of the day, Braith.
It is beautiful kick, and when it counted the most too, Tuppy. Well executed, right in the good field position for him and his team. And now, as you can see, they can put pressure on the Mounties in defence, and they certainly are.
So Mounties centre field. Gus Ager plays it back to Bond. Thrilling grand final. Wheaty Baker.
Everything counts, Tappy, in Golden Point. There are no second chances. Every play counts.
Yeah, good tackle there by Toya on Wheaty Baker. Massive kick downfield and taken on the full by Grant Nelson. The kick chase from Mounties is exemplary. First line of defence there, Horton. That's a good job by the big man. Now David O'Neill.
Still in good field position, but the Entrance, there's 4 tackles left, and they're going to get a chance to at least have a shot at field goal.
Here's Brad Chatfield. He certainly chimed in with some good quality runs today. Matt Place, the top tackler for Mounties with 27 tackles.
Good run.
Yeah, that was Adam McInnes. We highlighted him as a danger in our pre-game show. When he runs, they're a much better side. Scotty Jones, that is tackle 5. They're in a fairly good spot here. It comes to Fitzpatrick, who nails it,
6
but it's
again.
intercepted by Joey Bond. It's play on Malaya Malau. They've done it! The Entrance Tigers have snatched a remarkable victory in Golden Point extra time. What about that?
Can you believe it? They've won an extra time, the Entrance. Fitzpatrick went for the field goal, but if you wanted the football in anyone's hands, it was Malaya Malau. He scored the most tries for the team. He's come up with the biggest play on the biggest day of the year, and he's won his team the Entrance, the Ron Massey Cup.
Outstanding. Malaya Malau, the cream rising to the surface, if you like. He's been one of their best throughout the day. Wheaty Baker on the ground. Distraught Mounties, they finished higher on the competition ladder at the end of regular season competition. They've been beaten by a very gutsy, committed side today.
They certainly have. We spoke, they were the underdogs. That's looking at the game, the entrance, it was us versus them. Their captain, Ryan O'Hara, said it in the pre-game interview. They come down to Sydney. They wanted to beat the City Slickers, even though the Mounties are from Canberra. That was his approach to the game. But they fought hard, they defended well. They didn't take their opportunities in the first half, but they took their opportunities when it mattered, right at the end.
Second time they've won this competition. The most recent, 2007, there's the coach, Jamie Forbes. He's been a fixture at this club for an eternity. So this is the club that Matt Parrish used to coach. Forbes took over from him in the mid-2000s. What a sensational grandstand finish. A thoroughly...
High scorer here. Mate, how does that feel? It's the first premiership for the Entrance Tigers since 2007.
Oh man, I'm just proud of the boys. Come a long way. Had ups and downs, but we persevered, and yeah, did it for the brothers and also my family's support.
Great stuff. There was 83 minutes of hard footy there. The Mounties, they just wouldn't go away, would they?
Oh man, they're the same. They're determined. And when it's grand final time, everyone want the piece of the cake, but at the end of the day, I got it.
Cheers, boys. Back up to you. Well done. Congratulations.
How good's football? Honestly, this is what it's all about.
It is, and these guys wouldn't be used to this. You know, they're live on Fox Sports.
Okay, so there it is. The Entrance Tigers, the Ron Massey Cup champions for 2014. A break. Back soon.